Hello guys, welcome to Daddy Share Space and welcome to my channel. So here I have a couple of TSO accessories. This is the TSO drop-on connector. This is the regular TSO connector here. So this one is called the drop-on connector because when you put it on the rail, if you look at the rail here, you've got this notch here. Let's take a look from this angle here. You can see you've got the notch here and you can see the shape of this particular connector here. And with this kind of a U-type shape, the connector itself just drops on, and that enables you to use it with the parallel guides. Right here in place, I have the drop-on connector, as you can see, with the 20-inch rail. And then the other connector, if we take a look at it, it has a bar underneath there, and it has two screws on top. And I was using, looks like a 3mm wrench to actually loosen these. Now, the way that this one actually goes on is, let's take this one off. And you can see there's a channel right here. And the way that it goes on is you will loosen the screws here so that this is loose, and then it will slide in. And make sure it's fully unloose or fully loose, and then it will slide in, as you can see here, onto the channel. All right, now the reason why I'm coming to you with this video is because I got a question a long time ago. Right here I have the Dewalt Flexvolt saw, and behind it I have the Festool, which one is this? This one is the TSC 55 REB saw, and this is the Dewalt Flexvolt track saw. Okay, so the question that I got was, can you use the Dewalt track saw on a Festool rail and use it with the parallel guides? Now, I do not have the Festool parallel guides. I only have the TSO parallel guides in shop. But this one here, which is the drop-on connector, this is it, all not connected to the rail or to the 20-inch bar here. This will only work with the Festool track saw. It will not work with the Dewalt track saw. And you can see right here what the issue is. You can see how close the Dewalt track saw is to the rail here. And as I push it up, it makes contact with the drop-on connector. So if I take the drop-on connector here that I have in my hand and I drop it on here like that, you'll see that it is making connection, or basically making contact there. So there's no way for you to use the drop-on connector. Now, on the flip side, if I take the drop-on connector off and I utilize the conventional connector, which again is the one with the bar on the bottom, and as you can see, you know, the configuration there. I have that particular device here in the rail, and we have the same Flexvolt saw here, and we can watch as the Dewalt saw is able to clear the TSO connector with no problem. So if you're going to use a Festool rail with a Dewalt track saw, then you will be able to use like a TSO type of parallel guide. Maybe sometime in the future I'll get the Festool parallel guides just so I can do a comparison. But for right now, this is the example that I can offer. And since I'm doing this particular showing, I'm going to go ahead and grab my Makita track saw, and we're going to test that out as well. Okay, so I've got the Makita track saw on my rail here. And as you can see, there's enough clearance for it to work with the regular device. I did not adjust this Makita track saw to fit perfectly on this Festool rail. However, it is in position, as you can see here. What I mean by that is I didn't loosen these so that it'll slide appropriately. However, all I'm doing in this video is trying to see if there's clearance for both the regular conventional TSO parallel guide adapter and the drop-on adapter. So I'm going to slide the drop-on adapter over. We're going to, or slide the conventional adapter over, and we're going to put the drop-on adapter here. And we'll take a good look here and see if the saw will clear. And you can look right there and you can see that there is space in between there. I can see the rail down there at the bottom. So yes, if I was to loosen both of these knobs to make this saw slide properly on this track, it will clear both the drop-on fitting and the conventional fitting. So again, just to follow up, if you want to use the TSO parallel guide, the Festool rail, and the Dewalt track saw that I have here, this is the Flexvolt version, you would need this particular adapter, which is the conventional TSO adapter. And just so you can kind of get a closer look at those, the conventional one here is on my left, and you can see it has the two silver Allen key screws that you would need to adjust this bar that is on the back side. In contrary, this one does not have any screws in it. It's just a drop-on adapter. Now you do have some screws on this portion here, if you take a look there, and those screws are basically to take out any kind of slop that may be on this portion of the bar here. So these are little kind of like Teflon screws there. But when we turn both of them over, you can see clearly that there is a difference. This one has a little ridge across here, whereas this one does not. It is actually flat and flush here, but you also have this bar in this position. Now, I do believe that if I'm not mistaken, let me just line these up. Yes, it appears that you may be able to actually use this bar on here if you wanted to, because you do have the holes already and they are beveled as well. So I'm not sure why you would want to do that, unless of course you wanted to just ignore the fact that this is drop on and make it more of a permanent fixture, because basically when you put it on like this, it gives you the ability to tighten that down. And once you tighten it down, you can actually pick the rail up by this. These will stay attached. Whereas you don't want to try to pick up your rail with this particular, or from this particular thing. Now, I wouldn't recommend picking up your rail by this, because you could cause damage to your rail, bending it or warping it or something like that. But this is a more secure connection by comparison to this. That's not to say that this is not accurate and snug. That's why you have these grub screws down here that you can tighten up to get this to be a good snug fit. It's just that this right here, as you can see, just pops off, and this one this requires a tool to take it off. Anyways, guys, just a short little video about basically the question that I had, which is, will the Dewalt work on the Festool rail with the parallel guides? Again, I just want to reiterate, I do not have the Festool parallel guides in shop, at least not at this date. But it does work with the TSO with the original connector, not with the drop-on connector. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, make sure you do not get the drop-on connector if you're going to use the Dewalt track saw. The Makita track saw and obviously the Festool will work. All right, guys, thanks for taking time to watch this little video, and I will see you in my next one.